Playing good. Playing good. Playing good since it's 100%. Moving on. Speaking of a
And almost
team that
lost to the
played,
Bears.
speaking of a team that played on Thursday night, the Miami Dolphins. They are playoff hopes are kind of right now. They're right. Mark and I talked about this on Friday, saying that the Miami Dolphins they were definitely pretenders, not going to make the playoffs, but they still have a fighting chance to make the playoffs. They still have a 12% chance to make the playoffs. The Dolphins, when they lost to the Green Bay Packers on Thursday Night Football, dropped from 8th to the 9th seed in the AFC playoffs race. They do have a 12% chance of making the playoffs. So guys, is it fact or is it crap? Do the Miami Dolphins make the playoffs? And I didn't want to talk about this, but this is talk about, right? This is going to be a great story when the Miami Dolphins make the playoffs, because right now the Miami Dolphins won 3 in a row before dropping Thursday night to the Green Bay Packers. They have some very, very winnable games left on their schedule. They play the Jets. They play the Texans, a very, very struggling Texans team. The San Francisco 49ers, the Cleveland Browns, the terrible Cleveland Browns, and then the New York Jets yet again. They are sitting at 5-7 on this season, and they will need to win the next 4 of the next 5 to really truly have a chance. And 5 almost gives them a lock into the playoffs. So the real question here is not if they're going to make the playoffs, is that they're going to win the next 5. And if they win the next 5, they do have a 94% chance of making the playoffs. They can only lose 1 game and still have a legit shot to make the playoffs, and that only loss can only come to the San Francisco 49ers, because that still gives them still a 45% chance to make the playoffs. If it's to any other team, that drops them down to 4%. So guys, fact or crap, do the Miami Dolphins, do the Miami Dolphins make the playoffs? As much as a story it would be, Mark, Hoffy, people out there listening in the man hour and land, it would be a great story if the Miami Dolphins made it. Tua comes back from throwing up gang signs, being all swagger, and come back and balling, but it is 100% crap. It is 100% crap. I'm not going to deviate from what I said on Friday, because I didn't think they were contenders then, and I certainly do not think that they are contenders now. Guys, this is 100% crap. It is a race to 10 wins for the wildcard teams. The 3 wildcard teams are the Baltimore Ravens, the Denver Broncos, and the LA Chargers. Ravens are sitting at 8 wins. The Broncos are sitting at 7 wins, and the Chargers are sitting at 7 wins. The AFC playoffs will all be locked up in about 4 weeks. Before Christmas, the AFC playoff picture will be set. It is what it is. So, Mark, fact or crap, do the Miami Dolphins make the playoffs?
All right, I'm definitely with you on this one, and I'm definitely, like we said on Friday, they are pretenders. Like I told you on that episode, that they do have to travel to cold weather again, and Tua is notoriously bad in cold weather. I don't think he's won a game that's below 40 degrees or something like that. So, that's not going to be good for them. So I don't see them going on this 5-game run like you said. Like, I don't see it happening. And like you said, they're a threat to my Broncos, and I don't see them overcoming us, bro. I don't.
Yeah, it is the race to 10 wins, I think, and I think the Broncos get there before the Miami Dolphins do. Hoffy, you are a Miami Dolphins fan. You are a Tua fan. You are hype on that bandwagon. Fact or crap, do they make the playoffs?
I hate to agree with you guys, but I don't think that they can make the playoffs. I think it's a crap. They do play. They host the New York Jets. And Aaron Rodgers. That's in a division game. I think they're going to lose that one. Then they play at Houston. I think Houston is a better team. I think they lose that one. San Francisco, I think, is going to find a little bit of their groove here in these coming weeks. They're still in. Still have the opportunity to win the NFC West. And then they got to go to Cleveland. Cleveland is not a good football team. However, Cleveland, we saw them on prime time a couple weeks ago beat the Steelers, and it's going to be at Cleveland. So it's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. What is their average temperature? I think we saw it from the game the other night. 50 degrees is like their average temperature. Their home game are like average at 70 degrees. So it's going to be cold as balls there. And then the following week, they got to go to New York MetLife Stadium. Same thing. So, even if they're able to beat the Jets this week, they at the end of this 5-game, schedule, they have 2 games in the cold. So I think they're going to need more than 3 wins to make the playoffs, and I don't think that's possible.
So I did just look it up, and they can get 3 wins and make the playoffs if the Ravens lose out, if the Broncos lose out, if the Chargers lose out. Spoiler alert, Broncos and Chargers play one more game, so that it's literally impossible for that to happen. So just to put that out there. But guys, fact or crap, do the Miami Dolphins make the playoffs? My man Derek wants to ask a question. Who do the Commanders have left on their schedule? Derek, I did just look that up. They play the Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys, the Atlanta Falcons, Eagles, Saints, and Titans. So they could definitely lose 5 or 6 games in a row. So the Commanders might miss the playoffs, guys. I'm just putting it out there. But my man Kevin Cummings, well, actually, that might be a factor crap for Monday. My man Kevin Cummings says, you mean throw picks like Mahomes, right? He's leading the league in interceptions. Mahomes is playing very, very bad this year, Kevin. There's no denying that. If I were to do a top 10 quarterback list right now, Mark, guess what? Patrick Mahomes would not be up there. Bo Nix would probably be up there. I'm just saying. Patrick Mahomes. Baby. What's that?
Bo Nix would be number 1.
Oh, yeah. Bo Nix, Mahomes 2.0.
Don't you put that on me.
Laura says the Dolphins were frozen fish on Green Bay on Thursday. Listen, I understand, like, you practice in warm weather, right? It's always sunny in Philadelphia or Miami. I'm sorry, but they have a dome that they practice in. Like, why don't they bring in like some snow blowers or something and make it cold? Like, I believe somebody said they needed like some type of cold weather training. Derek says they need some cold weather training. Yeah, snow blowers. I have
that
one.
That doesn't help Tua. He's played in Alabama, and then he's played in Hawaii, and then now he's playing in Miami. The guy has played in warm weather his whole freaking life, dude. He does not know how to play in cold weather.
And then he shows up wearing short sleeves like he's proven something.
So let me tell you this, Hoffy. Lambeau Field is heated now, right? So therefore, when you're like 5'5", you stay nice and warm. Also, a lot of coaches, I do not believe in this, but a lot of coaches believe that people that handle the ball do not need to wear sleeves, because if those sleeves happen to get wet, it makes the ball more likely to get fumbled away. So that's why a lot of those players do not wear sleeves. But it's funny because those players that don't wear sleeves, they coat themselves in Vaseline to clog their pores to keep the heat in. Which Vaseline,
that's weird, man. Because
Vaseline is not slippery, right? Like, come on. Which it does work. I just want to point out there, it does work. Had a kid from Haiti that did it, and it would be 65 degrees outside, and he would be covering himself in Vaseline. I'm like, what are you doing, man? It's like, I'm cold. I'm like, 65 degrees outside, but Haiti's always like 110. So it is what it is. John says Miami. Fact, they do not make the playoffs, so it would be crap. It would be crap. Jim says Tua likes foosball. Tua need not write or read Doc Seuss. Tua only need hearing ring. What the fuck? Jim's trying to be funny, and basically, he was talking like, I think he was talking just like this. So I am still upset that Mahomes got fined for doing this, right? Like shooting the guns, but Tua can be like, West Side, and not get fined. But it is what it is. Crazy. Kevin says, crap. I told you weeks ago the Dolphins weren't making the playoffs. Their season was over before it started. Kevin, you've been on it, right? Kevin has been right about the Miami Dolphins all season long. Also been right about the Commanders. Somewhat. Derek says, crap. I do not see that happening. Laura says, crap. They aren't coming back this year, unfortunately. Not because they got to play in New York in the cold. They're going to lose yet again. Kevin says Dolphins are a joke. Jim says my bigger point isn't making fun, but they are one hit away from being the Raiders. No quarterback.
True.
Damn. Shots fired.
I mean, honestly, every team is a hit away from not being like the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm just kidding.
Except for the Vikings.
They got Daniel freaking Jones now. Let's go. Moving on to the final factor crap of the day.
Danny Nichols now.
The final factor crap of the day comes out to the